My daughter is just interested in more like the drama, a little bit of drama, a little bit of reality TV sort of thing. So I don't want to kill that
I
interest.
hear you. I hear you. In fact, kids, in fact, adults like you and me, parents, caregivers, should be able to let our children explore the world, right? Online, safe environment, explore the world, feed their curiosity. They're growing up, right? They're curious. So I think we should feed that. But of course, all these measures, toolings that we have in place are one way that I strongly encourage any caregiver or parent to actually use. So family links, supervised experience on YouTube's as well as YouTube Kids. Again, those are still important things that are already there for parents to use. The other thing we should really think about is, Joanne, your kids will eventually grow up. They're going to be teenagers here. So what exactly are we doing for teens? That's some and youths under the age of 18. I think that's a different group altogether down here. Their interests definitely evolves quite a fair bit. I think we also want to be able to manage very carefully in terms of what exactly is the sort of content that they see here in a safe space and controlled environment. So what we do is we also engage and talk to a lot of parents, caregivers, youths, as well as mental health experts here. So I think at least for that group, what we are very clear is that their mental well-being is really, really critical here. So what we want to do is to be able to manage the sort of content that they see. We also learn from experts that for that particular group, as your kids grow into that age here, we also learn that they are more at risk or will lean towards more towards having some form of negative self-belief if they watch, let's say, repeated form of content dealing with social comparisons here. So for those sort of content here, we are very clear that we are setting in place limitations to prevent recommendations for that. So even without you using some of those tools on here, I think the idea here is that as our kids grow into that sort of age, we want to be sure that, the recommendations, good, it recommends you things that you're interested in. But
How?
for more, say for example, I love K-pop music and all, obviously it would show me more, recommend more K-pop videos to me, right? But for kids and teens, especially when we deal with sensitive topics like social comparisons, I think that's something which we have a bit more of a heightened sense of alertness around this area. So we want to avoid any form of inadvertent mental well-being issues for kids of that age here. So watching one video is one thing, but it might be problematic if you watch repeated social comparisons here. So for that, as well as any content that may have some form of aggression here, we are limiting recommendations to teens of the age down
On
here.
the back end.
On the back end, so without even parents coming into the conversation in an unsupervised manner,
Right.
we are also sure that those sort of contents are not actually shown down there. In fact, on another part down here, I think you and I can relate to this. Explicit content or mature 18 content. There, you want to be sure that kids don't actually see some of this sort of things there when they use our accounts and all. So on the back end, we're also able to actually automatically turn these things on. So even as you pass your own devices here, sometimes they may not have their own devices, but they're using an adult's device. That
Right.
happens to me and a lot of other parents, right?
Yes.
We also want to be sure that, they don't catch any form of content that are inappropriate for them. So I think those are things that are active measures that we have there. The control is all in our parents' hands, you and I. And I think the idea is that, it always is a supervised experience as a starting point. So maybe have a conversation at the family in terms of what is the sort of experience you want and then start from there.